Hello and welcome to my channel. I saw on Booktube someone was doing a Booktube made me read it video, and I've been watching and doing videos since January of this year, and I'm going to do Booktube made me read these books. So anyway, I will do that, but first I just want to let you know that Booktube made me purchase lots of books since January, and I will show you in a minute how full my bookshelf behind me is becoming. So just give me a second and I'll show you that. Well, my top shelf is about the same, except we got some new books over here on the right. And when we move below the second shelf, this shelf has been filling up. This is all my blues and pinks, like my rainbow. And this is double now. So I have books behind the books that you see here. And then my third shelf down is all my black and white books. And they too are becoming a lot of books there. So it's double. And now I move down to the next shelf. And this is where it gets complicated. I have my white books behind my series books. And now what's happening is my series books, if you can see, I have kids books to the right, and then all my series books are taking up two shelves. I'm going down all the way to the bottom, two shelves and to the back. And this is what Booktube's doing to me. So anyway, I have to stop buying books and start using the library. So in the next couple of videos. Anyway. So in the month of May, I am probably going on a ban of buying books, but I do have a book outlet box that I ordered 2 weeks ago, and it was in New Jersey. Then it was shipped to Maryland. Now it's in North Carolina, and I think my books are missing because they were supposed to be here yesterday. And the last time I checked on it, it was still in North Carolina, so I just sent an email to Book Outlet, and hopefully they'll find my books. I don't know why it went from Ohio to New Jersey, then to Maryland to North Carolina when I live in New Jersey, so I don't know why it's being shipped from state to state. So anyway, hopefully they'll find my books, because I have a couple of books in there that I can't wait to read. So anyway, once I get those, I'll do my video for that. Anyway, back to the topic. I'm sorry. Booktube made me read it. So in January, Booktube made me read Divergent. That's Divergent by Veronica Roth. And I gave that a 5-star. And I also went to see the movie. So that was a very good book. I haven't read the other two yet, but I did read Divergent in January. The second book that Booktube made me read was in January, Prodigy by Mary Lou. I read Legend back in 2013, and I continued the series. I only read Prodigy. I still had to read the next one, which is Champion. But I gave that 3 stars. I didn't like it as much as Legend. I thought Legend was much better than Prodigy. It was a little slow for me. So, and then continuing in January, Booktube made me read Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children. Book 1, I gave it a 5. That's that one. And I really liked it. It was very creepy. My daughter kept on saying, "That's a creepy book, Mom. Why are you reading creepy books?" Anyway, so I really enjoyed that. It has lots of pictures in it. And I gave that a 5-star. Okay, so continue in February, Booktube made me read Eleanor and Park, which is that one, by Rainbow Rowell. I read that one, and I gave that one a 5-star. I really enjoyed it. It was a love story, like it's contemporary. And Booktube made me read this book called Control. That's it. By Lydia Kang. I read that with a whole bunch of booktubers. And I only gave that a 3-star. I enjoyed it, but it was a little complicated with all the medical terms. So anyway, so I did read that one. And Booktube made me, in February, I'm still in February, made me read Shatter Me. And I gave that one 5 stars by Tahara Mafi. I gave that 5 stars. I really enjoyed that book. And continue. Oh no, we're going into March now. In March, Booktube made me read this one book. I have a cold, sorry. My allergies are really bad this spring, so I'm on medication and everything. Anyway, Booktube made me read another Rainbow Rowell book. I didn't enjoy it as much. I gave this a 2-star mainly because I couldn't get, it was really dragging for me. I couldn't get through it, and this is the first book I ever skipped pages in. Like, I had to really skip pages just to enjoy the story. So, and that book was Fangirl. So, I mean, it had a good story to it, but I didn't like the fact that there was, like, some things about Simon in there, and it just, like, it lost... It was supposed to be, like, towards Harry Potter, and since I didn't read Harry Potter, maybe that's why I didn't enjoy it as much. It's just those parts I couldn't get through, and I was like, there, and I kept on saying, well, they keep on saying, keep reading it. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to skip pages because I can't get through this book. So anyway, so I skipped pages, and I finally finished that book, and I only gave it a 2-star. The next book that YouTube made me read was The Becoming of Mara Dyer. And that's this one here. And I really enjoyed that book. I gave it a 5-star. It has a lot of creepiness in it, and I really enjoyed it. So, and the next book that I read in March was The Archive by Victoria Schwab, and that I read for a read-along with YouTube, and I gave that one a 4-star, and that has a little bit of creepiness in it also. It's about dead people, and they move, they come back to life in like ghost type thing in the shelves, and a little complicated. I would have gave it a 5-star, but some of the parts were complicated for me, and I had to like really get through it, but I gave that a 4-star. The next book that Booktube made me read was, okay, Booktube made me find Abby Glines as a author, and I read one of her books called Fallen Too Far, and it is an adult book, and I gave it 4 stars. But I probably wouldn't have read it if I didn't hear another booktuber saying about Abby Glines. So anyway, I read that, and I really enjoyed it. And now I'm on the hunt for Abby Glines books. Like, every time I go to the bookstore, I'm looking for Abby Glines books. So I did pick up some on my Kindle. So I think I have the next book for this one on my Kindle, which I hope to read eventually. And let's see, what else? Okay, now we're in April. Booktube made me read Hyperbole and a Half. Now, I probably would not have picked that book up without hearing from other booktubers saying it was a really good book, and I gave that 4 stars. I do not read nonfiction, so this was a nonfiction book, and it had a lot of like graphic pictures in it, so it was like a graphic novel and also comedy. And I probably would not have picked that up without recommendations from Booktube. The next book in April that I picked up, and I have no idea. I think someone told me it was coming out, and I put it on my wish list at the library, and it came out. And I picked it up, and I read it, and I don't think anybody read it yet because I haven't heard anything else since that point. I picked up Dear Killer. And I'm sure that someone mentioned it, that it was coming out, but I haven't heard anybody reading it yet, and I gave that 5 stars. And I picked it up from the library. It was just released, and I read it from cover to cover, and I had other books on the side, but I really liked it. It was about a serial killer, and the girl, her family also killed. So it was a very page turner. Like, I couldn't put it down. The next book that Booktube made me read was Rebel Belle, and that was for April, and I gave that 4 stars. And that is for Book Explosion. I missed, let's see, in February we did Control, and in March it was Panic. However, I didn't get it from the library. Panic, I just got this. I put this on hold back in March for the read-along, and I didn't make it. So, but I did get Rebel Belle, and I did finish Rebel Belle, and I gave it 4 stars, and I hopefully this month of May I might be able to read Panic. So I have it from the library. I picked it up. I only have, I think, 2 more weeks to read it, so I don't know if I'm going to put it back on hold or what. So anyway, I did get it. And I'm hoping that the next book that they pick, I could get. So we'll see. Anyway, they should be doing a live show of Rebel Belle very soon. So I think it's March 6th or 5th. I don't know. May. May 5th or 6th. So anyway, so that's all the books that I read so far. So from January to April, that Booktube made me read. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!